This is the first bike I've come across that has an identity crisis.
This thing literally rides just like a dirt bike, but it has pedals. And I am pedaling this and it feels really awkward. Am I supposed to be pedaling this? Or are they just for show? This is the HappyRun G300 Pro, and it's one confused e-bike with an identity crisis because it has pedals. Why does it even have pedals? Where can you ride this? Who should ride this? Also, I made a simple modification to this bike that makes it 10 times better than it already was. We're gonna get the answers to those questions and also find out what this thing can really do. Stick around, you're not gonna wanna miss it. Now, before we answer those questions, we first need to find out what this bike has to offer. So for starters, the heart and soul that makes this bike so special is inside here. It's a massively powerful 72 volt, yes, a 72 volt 30 amp hour battery, which powers a rear direct drive hub motor that peaks out at 6,500 watts. It does have hydraulic disc brakes for stopping power, front and rear full suspension, and also has an estimated range of up to 70 miles. Now, of course, that's with a lightweight rider on a lower power assist level. Realistically, most people will see between 40 to 50 miles on a full charge. It does weigh in at 136 pounds and has a payload capacity of 350 pounds. And for traction, you have really aggressive knobby tires. The front is a 19-inch, the rear is a 17-inch. This bike does come with two keys, a smaller one and a larger one. The smaller one is for unlocking the battery cover. So you twist that, pull back, that exposes your battery right here. It does have a flip up handle. Right here is your charging port, so you can charge this while it's in the bike, or you can remove the battery and charge it away from the bike. And this key goes right in here. So to power the bike on, you would turn it just like that. You can pull the key out and the bike will have full power. To remove it, turn it to unlock, pull it right out, and you can take the battery with you. Now, as mentioned, I did make a simple modification which makes this bike 10 times better. Do you know what it is? Well, I'm going to show you. The pictures I'm going to show you right now is the grip that this bike came with. It came with pretty much e-bike grips. There's that faux leather stitched material, and yes, it does work, but they didn't feel right for this bike. And the biggest gripe is that the throttle side was a half twist throttle. Well, I tried using it, tried riding with it. My hand became cramped up and sore because, well, this bike is primarily a throttle use bike. And a half twist throttle with those kind of grips just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel like it was meant to be like that. So I did purchase an aftermarket full twist throttle on Amazon. I will link it down below. It's plug and play, and let me just tell you, it's so much better. Full twist throttle, more traditional dirt bike grips. So simple modification made the riding experience so much better. So on the left-hand side, we have a few buttons here. We have a dedicated headlight button, left and right turn signals, and a electronic horn button right there. Right-hand side, you got 3 buttons here. Middle one is your power mode button. You long press that to turn it on and off, and your plus and minus for your power assist levels. Don't forget, you need to turn the battery on before the bike will power on. Once the battery's powered on though, long press the power button right here. The screen boots up, and not the greatest looking in bright conditions like this. I mean, I could see it with my naked eye, but you could see there's some glares. It's not the most vibrant visual display, but what I can tell you though, has a power indicator here, your speed right there, your power assist levels. Now just show P, like park mode. It won't allow you to do anything. You can't twist the throttle. You can't even change power assist. You need to unlock that. In order to do that, all you do is squeeze the front right brake and locks it, puts it in power assist 1. And you have 1 through 5, 1 being the least amount of power, 5 being the maximum. You have trip right there, max speed, average speed, and back to odometer. And in case you're curious, here's the horn. It's actually really loud. It's a traditional motorcycle horn. Now this bike did require a bit more assembly than most others I've reviewed, but nothing terrible. It took me under an hour. It walked me through it with the instructions, but there's also YouTube tutorials too. It's not that difficult at all. A lot of it was the handlebars, so the handlebars are not attached, nor are the brake levers, the control modules, or the display. So all that has to be put on there, and you will get provided zip ties to kind of keep it a little bit cleaner. So there is no clean cable management. You are forced to kind of do it yourself. If you don't want to do that, it's just gonna be like a spider's web of wires there. Beyond that though, I had to install the front fender, the rotor onto the front tire, and install the front tire, the pedals, and the rear shock. So all in all, a little bit more than most, but nothing terrible. Again, instructions are pretty clean and straightforward. But now we have the front here of a headlight assembly, which is rather unique. You have 3 LED projection housings here, and I'm going to demonstrate for you how they look. You have 3 different settings. You have a more white or cool setting, you have a yellow or amber setting, or you have a combination of both, and you can also make it strobe or flicker, I guess, to get attention. So depending on your preference, maybe where you are, you can have it either a whiter, cooler light or a more yellow amber light. But you do get options. You just cycle through it with the headlight button and you can pick the proper setting. When the headlight is on, the tail light is on as well. It's a nice bright tail light. Aside from just the tail light, it is a functional brake light with both levers and also integrated turn signals. So you have left and right turn signals. Having them both on the same time will essentially give you 4 ways or hazard lights. Your front suspension is adjustable for softer or firmer. And again, nice knobby tires right there, really aggressive. They actually perform really well for this bike. As we come around, you can see the battery is encased here. And with the rear shock, you could also adjust it for softer or firmer. I did firm it up for myself, but you can have it however you wish. Now this is where things get a bit confusing. Why does this bike even have pedals? And people that see this thinking, oh, it has pedals, you could pedal it, it must be an e-bike, just a dirt bike style e-bike. Not really. This is generally not allowed where e-bikes are allowed. So unless your area has exceptions, you can't take this on rail trails, on the street, in traffic. It's generally an off-road bike. But I do think it's great that it has pedals compared to pegs, because if, for instance, you do find yourself in an area that you have to access a road or a rail trail or somewhere that's not permitted, if you find yourself there for whatever reason, you could pedal this bike and not be so much of a target to bystanders, even the police. Not saying it's going to be foolproof to get you away with it, but you're less of a target if people can see you pedaling this. And they actually do function as traditional pedals. You could pedal this bike. There's no gears or shifting, it's just a 1-gear system, but you could use it with pedal assist 1 or 2 and get power to pedal. Beyond 2, it's too much power, you're just free spinning it. So even though this would look better probably with pegs, the pedals is a little bit of a undercover gray area in some people's minds. But I will tell you, if you have to ride in the area you're not supposed to, please ride responsibly. Don't go flying by people. Don't be acting crazy. Just pedal normal speed to try to blend in. And once you get to your off-road area, then you can have fun. All right, we're gonna do some riding now. Just be forewarned, you may hear some squeaking and creaking. The rear suspension and swing arm area is noisy on this bike. I've lubricated and cleaned it multiple times. I've greased it. The noise doesn't go away. So just be forewarned, you're gonna hear that off and on. It's not terrible, but it's worth knowing. You will hear it during our riding portions, riding segments here. So we're gonna start off in pedal assist 1. I just wanna show you that you can actually pedal this bike and get some assistance from the motor. So it takes a couple seconds for the motor to kick in. There it is. So we got some power assist now. And I am pedaling this, and it feels really awkward because it has short crank arms. And it's like, am I supposed to be pedaling this? Or are they just for show? I don't know, but it feels weird pedaling this thing. But you can do it if you need to or want to. Now, this is not a bike you have to worry about whiskey throttling it. It is a really controlled, manageable power output from that rear hub motor. So even if you're in Power Assist 5, it's not going to wheelie on you. It's not going to kick off under you. It's just going to be a nice, steady stream of power. Also worth noting, the suspension on this is fantastic. I mean, we're going over some bumpy, rocky material, and I am like floating over it on a cloud. It feels so good. It is off-road suspension. It's intended for this. On a regular e-bike, I'd be getting jostled around and not having a good time. So, to answer a few questions, we know that this is not an e-bike. It's not supposed to be an e-bike. It's not supposed to be ridden in areas where e-bikes go, unless permitted in your area. So, where should you ride this? Well, basically, areas like this. Trails, wasteland areas, off-road areas. Anywhere off-road vehicles are permitted is where you want to take this. If you have like a farm or something, absolutely great for that. If you have areas that allow dirt bike style bikes, well, again, this is going to be your ticket to do it. Most other e-bikes just don't have the tires or suspension, and a lot of times even power to handle areas that this can go. Now, if you are taking this on the road, well, you're doing so at your own risk, but you do have that little bit of a buffer where you have the pedals, and those pedals could make or break you getting stopped and questioned or even impounded or ticketed from law enforcement. So just keep that in mind. The pedals are there, but it's not a green light to go on the streets or on rail trails. Now, next question is, who should ride this? Well, anyone that wants to get into the dirt bike world without having to get into a full-fledged dirt bike. So a few key things to point out is that this is whisper quiet. It's one of the quietest things I've ever reviewed. And aside from the squeaky, creaky noise or the pedals spinning freely, there is no noise to this whatsoever. So I'm giving it full throttle. You don't really hear much of anything. It is super, super quiet. So it's not gonna be a distraction. It's not gonna be annoying to businesses or neighbors. It is a really, really quiet e-machine. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It's not gonna draw attention with any noise. If you are wanting to go in areas that your e-bike can't take you, well, that's gonna be another person who's gonna wanna have this. If you wanna keep up with your friends who have dirt bikes, whether electric or gas powered, this is gonna be for those types of individuals. So the fact that this has multiple power assist levels, you could go as slow or as fast as you want based on who you're riding with and where you're riding. So it's not gonna be one speed. It's gonna do everything. It's gonna be, you choose your speed for what you wanna do, or where you wanna go. But before we go any further, let's do a high speed run right now. See how fast we could go with an individual my size. All right, we're gonna try to do some high speed runs. I have it in Power Assist 5, just doing throttle only. Here we go. $20, $30, $40, got to about 40 and a half. Now keep in mind, this is not completely level ground. It's a little bit up, a little bit down. It's breezy out. I'm also 5'11", about 240 pounds. So under completely flat conditions with a lighter weight rider, you will definitely achieve closer to 45 miles an hour. But we're gonna attempt it one more time on the way back just to see if we can replicate 40 miles an hour. And also keep in mind how quiet this is too. Okay, we're at 30. 38. 41. 42. 43. All right, 43 miles an hour, not too bad at all. So as we saw, I'm 5'11", 240 pounds. We got up to 43 miles an hour. Now this is estimated advertised to get close to 50, and I think it can with a lightweight rider on a completely level surface. But for someone my size, going 43, that's impressive. This really gets up there pretty quickly. And if you're lighter than me, well, you probably go even faster than that. So this is gonna keep up with most e-moto products, but I mean, I'm gonna kick it up right now to Power Assist 5. We're not gonna do top speed, but just to show you, it gets up and goes. It's got some juice to it. It's got some power. And it is up to speed in no time. You can take this thing almost anywhere. It's not struggling at all. But there is an area it does struggle. I'm gonna tell you that in a moment. But so far, I'm throwing everything at it. And it's just saying, give me more. Let's do more of this. So, there's one area that this bike struggles or is not intended for, and that's hills, with an exception. I'm going to explain that, but I want to do a demonstration. Right now in front of us, we don't have a big hill by any means. It's just basically a mountain of material, but we're at the base of it, and it's fairly steep. I'm in Power Assist 5, and we're going to try to climb it. And nope, it doesn't want to do it. There's a reason why. I'm going to explain it in just a moment. I'm going to show you another method on how you can climb this. Now, if you get momentum, you'll climb it all day. That's all you need, is momentum for hills. But why is that? Well, it has to do with the motor. This rear direct drive hub motor excels in certain areas, struggles in others. So what I can tell you is that this motor puts out a lot of wattage and is capable of some pretty fast speeds. But since it's direct drive, it doesn't have a ton of torque. It's not going to be great for doing wheelies and for climbing steep hills, especially from the base of them. But with this motor comes very little maintenance. There's literally nothing you have to do to it. It's just basically not submerge it in water. But there's nothing you have to do to maintain this motor. It is a mostly maintenance-free motor and whisper quiet with a direct drive hub motor. Now, another type of motor that a lot of e-bikes have, even some e-motos, if it's a hub motor, is a geared hub motor, where there's physical gears, like planetary gears in there, that rotate around. That gives you a lot more torque, gives you a lot more bottom end power. But the trade-off is that they're a lot noisier, and also they require maintenance. After about every 1,000 to 1,500 miles, you have to take it apart, clean it out, and re-grease it. Otherwise, it could potentially seize up. The only other motor that you could find, which was on the last little mini dirt bike pit bike I reviewed, is a mid-drive motor. That's completely different because the motor is mounted where a traditional gas motor would be, and that electric motor is powering a sprocket and chain to turn that rear wheel. You get a lot more both torque and high-end top speed, but it comes at a cost. You know, you have to do chain maintenance and adjustments. It is a lot noisier as well, and from what I've heard, not always 100% reliable.
Now before we continue, let me tell you about a few things I like about this bike. Number one, the thing looks amazing. It is a sharp looking bike. Gets looks anywhere I take it. And aside from that, it's a great riding posture. It's comfortable, it's not overly large, it's not too small. Me being 5'11", I feel like I fit on this pretty well. Yeah, I get flat feet, both feet, but I don't want something where I'm having to tiptoe on it either. This is light enough, nimble enough, I could handle it comfortably. So whether you're an experienced rider or someone new, it's gonna be great for both types of riders. Also, it's super quiet. You can't even hear this thing when you're riding it. And with that direct drive hub motor, literally maintenance free. You can't beat that. Again, not intended for hills, but this thing is intended for trails. It's a trail runner. And I'm just gonna demonstrate a little bit of riding here without me talking, just to show you where it excels and where you have the most fun with it. What we're doing is what this bike loves. And someone my size, it's having no problems at all pulling me around. So if you're a little bit heavier than me, not a problem at all. As long as you're under 350 pounds, it's not gonna have any struggles at all. It just may limit your top speed and your range, but it's a really, really capable bike. After riding this for a few times and getting used to it, there are some things I've noticed that I'm not really too fond of, that I kind of dislike, but these are my opinion, my thoughts only, and there's only two of them. The first one is the rear tire. The rear tire is a sufficient size, but I feel it's too narrow. It's not good in deeper, softer material where a wider tire would help it stay a little bit on top of it instead of sinking right into it. Did the bike do what I put it through today? It did, but with this soft coal waste material and muddy material, it was definitely sinking in more than it would have with a little bit wider tire. So I'd like to see that in the future if possible. The other thing is the lack of hill climbing abilities from the base. Now, as we discussed, with this type of motor, it's not intended for low power, high torque from zero start. This motor is intended for higher speed, higher power once it's opened up. So you can't take this and put it through everything you want it to like a traditional dirt bike. But as I mentioned, if you put it through what it's intended for, you won't be disappointed. But if they're able to get a little bit more torque out of this, it'd be even better. With that being said, I had an absolute blast riding this today. It is pretty messy, it's pretty muddy, but I had a great time, and this bike did everything I asked it to do. And I even demonstrated how you could accomplish some of those things it struggles to do. If you ride this the right way, I guarantee you're gonna be happy and want to ride it more and more. If you have areas that you can't take your normal e-bike or pedal bike, or if you have friends on Surons or other dirt bikes, you can certainly go riding with them. This is capable of keeping up with a lot of bikes out there. Is it gonna be able to do everything a traditional motocross bike can do? No, it's not intended for that, and you're not paying for that either. This is an affordable step into the dirt bike world. And yes, it does have pedals. It does seem a little bit gimmicky, but I'd rather have those than pegs, because you can potentially not be targeted for riding a strictly e-moto dirt bike, Suron style, in areas you're not supposed to. So take the good with the bad. I have seen people swap them out though for pegs. So if you do want to do that and are strictly riding off-road, you have the capability of doing that. But I love that it has the multi-color headlight, the brake light with turn signals, plenty of power, plenty of high speed, not a great amount of torque, but everything else it does is fantastic. And that massive 72 volt battery system really cranks out the power and gets you up to speed pretty quick. 43 carrying a man of my size on a bike that weighs 136 pounds is pretty impressive. And they have multiple color options available. I opted for the blue one. Absolutely love it. This bike's not going anywhere anytime soon. I have a lot of fun adventures planned for it. If you do want to get more information and the latest pricing, there will be a link down below with a discount code. And lastly, I'd like to thank the folks over at HappyRun for reaching out to me and allowing me to share the G300 Pro with all of you. By now, you should know if this e-moto/e-bike confusing identity crisis bike is potentially the right one for you. Thanks for watching, safe riding, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.